Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.
Alrighty, good evening and welcome to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. I'm your host for tonight and every Tuesday night, Dionne Anglin. We have some special guests in the studio with us. Tonight we'll be chatting with some of the members of the Cayman Islands national men's football team. We have Captain D'Angelo Rowe in the studio with us, Cameron Gray, Jabari Campbell, Joshua Campbell, and of course the infamous goalkeeper that we all heard so much about, Deshaun Whitaker, is here with us. As you know, recently Cayman played Honduras on home soil, and of course they kept it to only one goal to lose very late in the game. And despite the loss, though, Cayman's goalkeeper was credited for a fantastic game. Honduras dominated possession, holding 85% and unleashing 31 shots, 8 on target. But of course, our keeper was able to save, I think, all. Yeah, allowing only, it was an own goal that cost us the loss. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're going to talk all about that later. And then later on, of course, we'll transition to Cayman basketball, where 4 under-23 players visited Paraguay recently for a training camp. And this is in preparation for the Junior Pan American Games to be held in August. This is also history for Cayman basketball, qualifying for the very first time in 3x3 for the Junior Pan Am Games. So Brian Ebanks, Nathaniel Anderson, Alwyn Buttram, and Coach Trini Duran Whitaker will be here tonight, all right? So in the meantime, we're going to hear all about the stories, but stay tuned right after this. We'll be back.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
The Buzz is powered by the team that keeps you moving on the road or in the water. Automotive Art. Whether it's your car, boat, or wave runner, they've got the expert touch. With Yamaha certified staff and a passion for performance. From oil changes, brakes, and alignments to batteries, tires, and servicing. Automotive Art has got the parts and the people to back them up. Your car, our passion. That's Automotive Arts. Proud sponsor of The Buzz every Tuesday and Thursday morning, 7:30 to 9:30, right here on Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Shaken yet standing firm.
I was not built to break.
This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
All right, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. In the studio, I'll have these gentlemen introduce themselves. Even though I called their names earlier, I'll have them introduce themselves as we go around the table. Start to my right.
I'm Cameron Gray.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jabari Campbell. I'm Joshua Campbell.
I'm Deshaun Whitaker.
And Dionne Rowe.
All right, awesome guys. Everyone's good?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. They said no one was nervous, so we'll see. Okay. So, guys, you guys recently played Honduras on home soil, and then you also had a game in Bermuda, yes, right? Both losses. That's fine. That's okay. But this particular loss against Honduras was huge for you guys for some reason, an obvious reason. Even though you guys lost, you still received praise, right, for a fantastic game, well played, great defense, great goalkeeping. talk to me. So it just means the team showed remarkable resilience throughout, right? So how would you guys describe the overall performance against Honduras? Let's start with the captain.
I think the performance was good. We went into the game with a game plan. I think the team executed it well by keeping it to a very low-scoring game, which came in the 80-something minute by our own goal. So it shows that the game plan that we went into the game worked, and we could have pulled off a very surprising result that no one expected to see.
Awesome. Let's talk about that own goal. Who did it?
It wasn't me.
They got silent. Nobody does it. I asked a question. Who did it? Okay, no, I'm teasing. All right, so that must have been frustrating.
Yeah.
And I'm very sorry for the person who scored the goal, because I know that's a tough thing. It's like in basketball, right, Mr. Production? It's like in basketball, and you put someone on the free throw line, and just seconds to go, or the game is on the line, and you have those two shots, and you miss them, and you doom, right? So I can understand. It's not free kicks as well, but that own goal, I'm sure it hurt because you guys kept them off for so long throughout the game, and then that one own goal. How did y'all handle that in the locker room?
Well, we didn't look at the negative part. We just looked at the positive. Seeing our family and friends in the stands cheering us on, even though we lost the game. So that was good. That encouraged us, and that showed us that we did a tremendous job on the pitch. So it was nothing that we took away from that. Negatively, it was only positives.
Okay, good to hear. So you guys held your ground against a very tough opponent. What was the game plan going in, and how well do you think you executed that plan?
I mean, to be honest, our game plan was to defend. If we're being honest, they are a very good team. Their entire team play professionally. Okay. So our game plan was to defend and get them on the counter attack, and we defended really well. I believe we stuck to what we needed to do, throwing our bodies on the line, and we almost got there. It was upsetting in the end, but like DeAndre said, we kind of took the positives from it, and to me, it was a very good occasion for just the country as a whole to come out and watch.
It really was. And what about the fans? Were you guys excited to see, the stadium filled?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What does that do for you?
To be honest, when we were singing the national anthem, I had a lot of goosebumps, and
yeah. That's when the nerves comes.
Yeah.
The national anthem. You're like, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
All right. So of course, as we know, Honduras, like you said, they were very dominating. They dominated possession, but of course, our defense held strong, as most of you who were there can see. What adjustments did you make to handle their attacking pressure?
Normally we play four at the back, but we knew that their strengths came from their wide players,
right.
So we kind of made some adjustments and play five around the back, which would kind of help us sort out those threats. And I think we managed the storm pretty well, and as you can see, the results said it all.
Definitely. Can you talk about any standout moments or plays that helped keep Cayman competitive throughout the match? Anyone can remember any standout moment?
Mr. Deshaun Whitaker.
Deshaun has all of them.
I'm happy you said it, because I'm going straight to him now, Mr. Goalkeeper, who it was an unexpected throw into the team, right? So, of course, with Lakeland's injury, how is he doing?
He's recovering well now. He's just taking it one step at a time, but we have a good backup. He stepped up to the plate when we need him the most, and he digged us out of a lot of holes. So credit to him.
Awesome. And Whitaker, how did you mentally prepare for this, especially at such a short notice?
Well, the coach texted me before actually and told me that I was starting, and normally I would do 1 hour of meditation before the game.
Okay.
And on the way there, I would usually read a scripture from the Bible.
Okay.
And listen to music.
Okay.
So that really focuses me on the game.
So that's what you did?
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing what scripture you read?
Well, I read Psalms 91.
Powerful scripture. I like that. Sounds good. So also facing a powerhouse like Honduras in your debut, what was going through your mind in those opening minutes?
Well, it was just stay calm and collective and try your best all the time.
Yeah, definitely. You made 8 crucial saves, keeping Cayman competitive despite relentless attacks, right? Which save stood out to you the most, I should ask?
Well, it had to be the second half save from close in. It had to be that.
Yeah.
I couldn't barely see the ball, and to me, that was just the best save.
Awesome. What were your thoughts when Coach gave him the last minute call and knowing that Lakeland was out? What was that like for you?
It's funny because I guess most football teams are like this, but you kind of know the starting lineup from the day before.
From the jump, yeah.
So we had no clue. So once we got into the locker room and the referee came in and he calls the starting 11 first. So then when he called Deshaun's name, I think everyone was kind of like, Deshaun? Like, yeah, what happened? But we all had faith in him, honestly. And he proved it on the day. And he was pulling out some saves that even had me like, what is going on here? Like, I just wanted to hug him, honestly. But we had his back, and he proved why he belongs where he belongs.
Yeah, definitely. And you said, where did you say you attend in England?
Oh, I attend Bishop Burton College.
And you're a goalkeeper there as well.
Oh.
What's your season been like so far?
My season haven't been well, but with my team, we just got out of the relegation.
Okay.
So we're still in the league.
Okay. And how would you compare your team versus your national team? And what was it like coming back to Cayman and representing?
Oh, it felt nice.
Yeah.
I'm always proud to represent Cayman and wear the shirt. It's always a great feeling. And if I was to compare the two teams, I would say that Cayman is better. Yeah. Yeah, I really like the togetherness that we have as a team.
Yeah. Okay. But skill-wise on the field?
Skill-wise on the field? Yeah, I feel like out there in England, it's a different
ball game.
Yeah, it's a different style of football. So I wouldn't really say that anyone is better. Yeah.
And what about, are there any players on the team that you think can play where you are?
Yeah, most of the team can play in England easily.
You're off to college as well?
That's all.
Yeah. Tell us where you are?
University of Alabama at Birmingham.
And how's that been like for you?
It's good. My first year in college, so it's been good.
What's that transition like?
From high school to college is a big difference. Yeah. Honestly, I underestimated it, but going into college and seeing like the quality of football and just like how tough it is, it really made me like look back and be like,
What's it like for both of you balancing books and ball?
Well, I've been doing it since high school because I went boarding school. Okay. So, when I first started, it wasn't really that difficult to adjust to. But honestly, it just for me, I really want to play football, and my mom always told me that if I want to play football, I have to keep my grades up. So, it's just been like just focus on what I have to do, and then so the transition hasn't been that hard.
And for you?
Yeah, for me, you have to put 100% dedication in it to be able to have good grades and football at the same time and perform good in football. And I feel like it isn't hard to do it, but like I said, it's just 100% dedication, and you'll definitely know how to.
And you just finished as well. What's your name again? Jabari. You just finished as well. What sort of advice would you give them since that they're in their first and second year?
Just stay focused and avoid the distractions that will come.
What kind of distractions are there?
we all know what kind of distractions.
Inquiring minds want to know.
we all know what kind of distractions that's out there.
Yeah. So. How did you handle those distractions? Did you handle those distractions?
I think I handled them pretty well.
Good.
But where I was, there wasn't that much distractions, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was in Utah.
It's difficult though, huh? the distractions.
Yeah.
How are you guys handling the distractions?
Me, I good. Honestly, cause
You good?
I got one distraction. I need no more distractions. So honestly.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, Deshaun.
Yeah, I feel like I'm handling it well because I'm not really on to distraction. I'm only focusing on football at this point in school. So,
and it's not just women. You also have the pressure of playing time as well, and then waking up early hours of the morning to practice. I'm sure. How's that been like for you guys?
For me, honestly, I'm a morning person. So, like for us, we have training in the morning first, and then we go to our classes.
Mm-hmm.
So, you obviously get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
But when I transitioned from like high school, we have trainings in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And honestly, it sucked. But after a while, you get going, and then it just feel like now you rather doing that because you get it out the way. Now you have the rest of your day. So yeah, I like it better, to be honest.
And then the culture is different as well, especially for you in England.
Oh,
What's that like? Food?
Yeah, the food is way different.
Yeah.
Way different.
Is that a good thing?
Oh, no, not really for me. I like my Caribbean food.
You're not getting any oxtails?
Oh, no.
You're at the wrong place, man. You got to find somewhere to have an outlet that have them, the oxtail and all that. Yeah, man, you find it. Just keep looking. What about you? In Alabama, what's it about there?
The culture, honestly, we already know American food. Beer junk and stuff, so.
Yeah.
But, we...
And that's an added pressure as well, eating healthy.
Yeah, for sure. But us as players, our coaches and, like, everybody around us make sure that we try to eat well. So we have a plan instilled in us, so we try to stick to that.
Okay, awesome. So going back to the game, I know you guys had some notable defensive sequences, I'd say. How much of that was preparation and how much was adapting on the spot?
Well, to be honest, we didn't know that we were going to play the formation we played until the day before the game.
Okay.
Yeah, coach introduced us to the tactic, and we just right on the spot on the day of training. We just adjusted, and I think we did really well.
I know in when I went to college in basketball, in Cayman we have one or two different plays, or there's one play with like 6 different plays in it. When I went off to college, there was 50-something plays we had to learn.
Yeah.
How many formations or plays do you guys have to learn in England and Alabama?
Away, to be honest. Like we have one main formation. Yeah, and then plays, they're not really plays in football. Like obviously you have passing patterns and stuff, but most of it is just improvisation. So you just go off of the flow, what we see and what we do. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. So Cayman's ranking compared to Honduras meant the odds were stacked against you, of course. How did the team mentally prepare for this challenge? We heard from him about how he mentally prepared for it, especially being told on the spot that he was going to represent. What about the team itself?
I think everyone knew how big of a game it was, and how big of a game it is for Cayman, as well as Honduras and so many people from Honduras that live here, and what it was going to bring for the team and the nation. Mm-hmm. So I think we were mentally preparing for this game for a long time, and like Deshaun said earlier, we have a really tight-knit group.
Yes.
And I think this is one of the best groups we've had in a long time in terms of just chemistry and morale, and we all kind of feel like brothers in the group. So when it comes to big games like this, I don't think it takes much for us to get up for it, but we knew how big this was, and we kind of just stuck together and got up for it.
Awesome. The match against Bermuda. The match against Bermuda was a very tough result, 5-0. What do you think went wrong there? And if wrong is just for lack of a better word, what do you think went wrong there? And what lessons did you take away from that performance?
What I think went wrong, I think
5-0. I know you guys could perform better than that.
Yeah. I just think most of the players were tired, if I'm being honest, because we had troubles getting to Bermuda due to a storm in Miami and stuff. So the flight didn't reach in time that we would have reached. So I think tiredness played a big part in that, and it showed on the field. Honestly, I think we went out there with a game plan as well. We were only down 1 at a half.
Okay.
But like I said, fatigue set in with all the traveling and stuff. And unfortunately, we lost 5 to 0.
Yeah. So do you think had you guys maybe played a day later or so, you would have gotten a different result?
Yeah.
A better Cayman team?
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So looking back at the loss, how did the team regroup mentally and tactically to prepare for Honduras? 3 days later, I think it was? Yeah.
Honestly, we knew we had to prepare because we knew the game that was coming against Honduras. We know how big it would have been for the fans and how much people would be watching the game and what it would mean to us to perform in a game like that. So honestly, we just brushed that aside against Bermuda. We just brushed it aside and focused on Honduras because we know if we can get a big result against Honduras, no one would look at the Bermuda game and they would look at the Honduras game. So that's what we tried to do.
Awesome, and that's what you did indeed. Despite the scoreline, though, were there any standout moments or individual performances that show sort of promise for Cayman, our Cayman national team moving forward in either game? Yeah,
for sure. Obviously, Dionne. We all said that we know that he should have some calls coming his way after the game.
Yeah.
Our whole back line, just Dionne is nothing without his back line. So, DeAndre, Cameron.
Is that what they call you, Little?
Oh, all these man, Jabari. So Cello, everybody played well. So
who's Cello?
Marcelo.
Okay, yes.
Marcelo.
Okay.
Wesley Robinson, sorry. Everybody played well. Even up to the forward line all the way back. So I think it was just a well-rounded performance. Obviously, if we could win and get a goal, it would have been a different story. But yeah.
Curiosity, goalkeeper. What's workout? What's practice like for you?
On a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, in school.
Oh, it's at school?
Yeah, at school.
Away in the UK. Normally, it's a game on Monday, school on Tuesday, morning training Wednesday, and then training with my team in the night, and then school Thursday, Friday training, and then Saturday, Sunday off.
Awesome. What's training like for you, though, as a goalkeeper? What does the goalkeeper do differently from everyone else?
Well, we basically work on handling, more like shots straight to you, get used to that. And what I work on normally is footwork because most of the keepers, they barely don't know how to use their feet and play well in that. That plays a big role in the game.
Okay.
So I feel like I work on that a lot.
How beneficial was all that throughout that game against Honduras?
Well, it was very beneficial. Yeah.
So it's a matter of just reading the line?
Yeah, just reading how they play and how we play, everything like that.
Okay, awesome. I like that. So after this match and the qualifiers overall, what lessons do you think the squad has learned moving forward?
I think we've now seen that we can perform against high-level opponents like Honduras. So, I mean, once we keep at training and keep believing in ourselves, I believe the squad can go really far in the upcoming games that we have.
Okay, so So you made history. Yes, you did. You made history with a win against Antigua and Barbuda last year, and you were the captain for that one as well. All of you played there except Dionne. The three of you were there?
I was there, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so and how does that moment compare to the highs and lows of this qualifying run?
Well, the Antigua game, Joshy scored the winner, so I can only imagine the high that he was on and the whole team was on, to be honest. Like, we just felt that was just amazing, honestly. And in that game, I didn't even play, but I didn't even care because it was just amazing, really and truly.
Y'all left him in awe.
We just all ran to Joshy and it was amazing. And then obviously the lows is, let's call it the 5-love against Bermuda. That result really hurt, I think, the team because we know we
could have done better.
We could have done way better. We could have competed with them. We could have even beat them. So it's the highs are high, the lows are lows, but it's just about sticking together and just pushing forward. And like Jabari said, I think this campaign showed us that we can really compete with whoever we face. It doesn't matter. Just gotta stick to it.
Awesome. I like that. What's next for the team following this final group stage match? Of course, in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. what's next for the team?
Well, we didn't qualify for the next round of workout qualifiers, so our campaign and that is finished. The next
There's always something else.
Yeah, the next competition up next for us is the Nations League.
Okay.
But that's not until after the World Cup is played next year.
Okay, awesome. So when do you guys go back to school?
Late July.
Late July.
Yes, sir.
Go back late July as well?
I go September. Yes.
Did you get any calls, like from your teammates or your coach about your goalkeeping? I mean, come on, if they didn't give me your coach number right now.
No. It was just regular text.
Oh, text.
Team.
Okay, text. That works.
Yeah.
That works. So what sort of messages you got?
No, just congrats, good performance.
Yeah.
Just regular text.
How did you feel personally after playing such a great game, an excellent game?
Well, I felt very, very proud of myself. Normally, it wouldn't be like that, but I stuck to myself, did my routine.
Mm-hmm.
I was calm during the game. I wasn't nervous, nothing.
Yeah.
So
that's
I knew
what experience does, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important we send you guys off to school, because this is what it does. And then we bring you back to represent the country and hopefully the greats. Just like Honduras had their top players, you guys are our top players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what it's all about. So I'm really happy you guys came back home and represented. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right. So what message do you have for Cayman football, the football fans who continue to support you guys?
I'll say just continue sticking behind us. We saw what you guys did for us against the Honduras game, and it really helped us throughout the whole game. We just ask for you guys to continue just supporting us on and off the pitch, and just keep believing in us. We can only keep getting better with the support behind us. So we're just asking for that support to be consistently in the future.
So are you guys continuing practice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all had practice yesterday?
No, we resume next week.
Next week. All right. And everybody, well, you'll have the whole team here until they leave in July.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. All right. So talk to me a little bit about camaraderie, your team. I know Deshaun and Cameron. Cameron, you have a lovely smile.
Thank you.
Deshaun and Cameron, you mentioned the team camaraderie a little bit. Can you expound on that for me, on the rest of the team? We only have 5 of you here.
I think the team, like they said, you can see that there's a lot of togetherness now. Like Cameron said previously, you can see that this has probably been the best team in terms of being together more. Everyone treats each other like brothers. We don't leave anyone out. So if we see someone falling out from the group, we come and we pick them up and bring them up back to our level. So, but not only the players I'll give credit to as well, I'll also give credit to the coaching staff as well, because they've played a big part in the players being more together as well. So I'll thank the coaches as well, the CFA executives as well, for helping us stay together and build this chemistry that we currently have now.
Awesome. Speaking of coaches, you guys recently changed coaches. What was his name again before your dad?
Mr. Joey.
Mr. Joey Yapchung. Yeah. What's that like? I'm not going to ask you all personal questions. Relax. But what's that like, though, changing coaches along the way at such a short notice? How does that help the team?
It was a bit of a hiccup, but with the assistant coach taking over, which is currently my dad, he's been around the group since the first workout qualifiers game, so it wasn't like we had to adjust again. He was always there already working with us, so we just had to shook off whatever happened, and we just continued moving forward and preparing mentally and physically for the games against Bermuda and Honduras. So,
any of you keep in touch with Coach Joey? No, not yet. Okay, we leave it there. Deshaun, this performance has put your name in the spotlight. Before we go, how do you see this moment shaping your future for Cayman football? You did mention in the press conference that you actually showed that this is why you belong on the national team. So how do you see this moment shaping your future for Cayman football?
Yeah, I feel like there should be a lot of opportunities, more people looking at Cayman football, because it wasn't that popular, Cayman football.
Yeah.
And now that we put our names out there as a team, it'll only go higher from here. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. I appreciate you for stopping by and giving of your time. I appreciate that. We're going to take a commercial break. When we get back, we'll have Cayman basketball in the studio. All right, so stay tuned.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is urging the public to ensure their passports are valid and secured ahead of hurricane season, which begins Sunday, 1st of June, 2025. The public should check the validity of their passports, verify entry requirements, apply or renew passports and visas early and safely. Store important documents in waterproof containers. For more information, contact 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman is proud to continue to serve our island community. During the last Lionistic year, they successfully carried out community projects like the Prostate and Colon Cancer Awareness Campaign, sight screenings, spelling bee, swim meets, and their community food pantry. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman looks forward to continuing their service during the 2025 Lionistic year and for many more years to come. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, where there's a need, there's a lion, serving the community for over 50 years.
Join us on June 25th at 5:30 p.m. for a special celebration at Georgetown Library's Historic Room as Celebrate Cayman launches the Seamen's Registry, honoring our seafaring heroes and their families. Discover historical displays, hear inspiring speakers, and explore interactive exhibits. Plus, be the first to check out the new Seafarers Registry website. And that's not all. We'll soon head to Cayman Brac for another exciting event. Mark your calendars for June 25th. Exhibitions and activities will run through July 5th. Let's celebrate our maritime legacy together.
The voice of the Cayman Islands, Radio Cayman.
Shining down from above. We love our listeners.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Alrighty, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. We have Cayman basketballers in the studio with us. As you heard in the intro, we spoke about 4 or 5 of our representatives that headed to Paraguay. They visited Paraguay for a training camp in preparation for the Junior Pan Am Games that's taking place in August. So we're gonna start, a little chat about the training camp. How well it, how did it go? So, gentlemen, I'll have you introduce yourselves, starting from my right.
My name is Brian Ebanks.
And say your name slowly.
My name is Brian Ebanks.
I like that. That's much better.
I'm Coach Trini.
Coach Trini. Coach Trini, you don't have a different name?
Yeah, my government name is Devan Whitaker. If you call me by that, I will answer.
Go ahead.
My name is Alvin Buttram, Jr.
Okay.
My name is Nathaniel Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Derek DeMarley Ebanks.
Awesome. I think I interviewed you once for 3x3, right? It was a 3x3 local tournament we had. All right, so Cayman's qualification for 3x3 Pan American Games, of course, that's a landmark moment for basketball in the country. How does it feel to be a part of this historic achievement?
I think it feels great. Especially, we just went to this training camp and we see the teams that we played against and their populations are 5-6 times, like our amount of people.
Yes.
And, the ability to go out there and just kind of like compete and stay with them and have that fun. It's awesome to be a part of the experience as a whole.
Anyone else want to add to that? What does this milestone mean for the future of Cayman basketball and how do you hope it inspires younger athletes here at home?
I think it's show that we're growing, we get in there, we keep competing at an international stage, so the younger ones could see that and start to give, and it's good that we get to take the younger guys that transition into the senior teams, so they get to see the physicality and the depth of how hard it is to play against those teams.
Yeah, definitely. And so let's jump right into the training camp. How was it and how did it help sharpen your skills, you think, for the Junior Pan Am Games coming up in August? You guys were in the training camp, not coach.
Yeah. I would say, the hardest thing about preparation for these kind of tournaments, especially after the last few that we attended, is that it's hard to kind of replicate the physicality as a whole, even in practice, because it's a hard line between fouling and playing defense, and we can't, really recreate it. But I think the training camp just gave you the opportunity to play against teams, go hard. You're obviously prideful out there. You want to win, even though it's a training camp, and you kind of just get to become used to that type of level of physicality in play. So,
all right, and all of you went. So can I hear from all of you? How was it? What was your experience, Alwyn?
My experience is it was really informing. Being able to see different countries, how they play their style of play. In all honesty, Brazil was a really physical team.
Yeah.
In every which way. They were big, solid, and it taught me a lot of things to play more stronger, play physical in every which way, because this game of 3-on-3 is very physical.
Very physical, yeah, definitely. And how excited are you to be able to compete? I heard you got injured up there again. Are you going to be able to compete in August?
Yes, I will.
Yes. I will. Okay, awesome. So make sure and eat your beans and your porridge and all that.
Oh, for sure.
Strengthen those muscles. How do you feel? Because the very first time you all went, which was a wonderful experience for you guys, you weren't able to compete because you were injured, right?
Yes.
So how is that injury now?
It is
Everything's
fine.
good? It's not the same reoccurring?
It was not the same.
It was another one. Which one was it this time?
My right.
Your right.
Yes.
So it was the left the first time?
Yes.
Okay. So, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Yeah? Okay, sounds good. Mr. Brian, this is your second time as well. What was this experience like for you in the training camp?
Strictly business. I guess we went there, to see what we are going to compete with. I guess everybody that went have the same goal,
Right.
Seeing how each team is physically prepared and, coming back home. Just making sure we work as hard or harder than, the teams that are up there. And try to put Cayman on the map.
Okay. And Derek, what was your experience like? Because this is your first time.
Yeah, I didn't go, but it was cool to hear about the experiences that.
Oh, he did not go. Okay,
You know,
okay.
The other person was Brad,
Was
but
Brad.
he fell ill, so.
Okay, all right. So you just have him here just for the experience. Okay, sounds good.
He's
But-
part of the team still, you know what I mean? So.
Okay, so will he be going in August?
We're not sure. I haven't
Not sure.
decided on the 4, but I'm going to take the best 4 after we do the Nations League in Chile. So that
Okay.
determines on him if
Okay.
he'll be going.
When is the Nations League?
It's the 20th, the 21st to the 27th, but
Of this month?
Of next month, of July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
we
very
will
good.
take the best 4. Whoever could represent and play the best is what we're going for.
Okay.
So we have 6 going to Nations League, and we're going to choose 4 out of the best 6 that compete and show that you know what they're ready to take the next step.
Okay. Awesome. I know some of them are different. You can take, I think, maybe 5, but only 4. Only
Yeah,
4.
Nations
complete?
League is like that because every day it's a different competition. So you
Right.
get to register 4 the night before. But no matter if someone get hurt, you still can't change that person
Okay.
on the day. You still have to play with 3 or.
Okay.
But
Awesome.
but the next day you could register someone new because it's like 5 one-day tournaments.
So that's kind of like what we did
And
when they went the
yeah,
last time.
yes,
Nations
exactly the
League.
same thing.
Yeah, Nations League is
Nations
very
League.
different.
Yes,
Yeah.
very different.
Okay. All
Very
right.
much more than
More accommodating than
Yeah.
the men when the senior men go.
Right.
Right, because they are more stringent with their rules. You have to.
Rules, yeah.
That's the 4 that have to compete throughout the entire competition.
tournament, right.
Okay, sounds
And
good.
I think that's the same thing as the Junior Pan Am. You pick 4 and that's it.
That's it.
So
Okay.
even if someone get injured, you just have to play with 3.
Okay.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, sounds good. How was Paraguay?
It was good. I mean, I think we could compete with the teams that are there.
Mhm.
The 4 teams that made it to the semifinals, they really are a notch above us, but everybody else seemed like, you know what, on any given day,
Mhm.
we could beat them. I mean, we did beat Argentina, and they went to the finals.
Right.
We played Brazil in the practice squads. They beat us like 15-11, but
Okay.
we beat like Guyana
Mhm.
and the other teams, El Salvador, you know,
Okay.
so we really held our own.
And we don't know what pool we'll be in
No,
yet when we
that's
go
the
to
part,
Hana,
you know.
right? So it was nice just to get that experience.
And to see the players. Hopefully, it'll be the same guys that.
Yeah.
really
What about the country itself, Paraguay?
It was lit. It was, you know, we had a vibe, you know. It was nice. The people were friendly.
Mhm.
Thank God for Brian because
Language
yeah,
barrier,
yeah. Every minute we were like, hey. So
Right. You speak fluent Spanish?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So your next question I ask you will answer in Spanish. All right, so
I speak it too though. I'm fluent too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is fluent too.
Yeah.
I know that. I told Colin that.
Miss, don't believe him.
Oh, but I thought you were.
I'm like close. I'm almost there.
He could be like uno, dos.
No, for the most part.
I thought when we were in Puerto Rico, you were. Was it Puerto Rico or Mexico?
Mexico.
Mexico. You were speaking in Spanish.
I'm almost there. I'm not his level, but I'm close though. No.
Definitely not his level.
So, apart from the language barrier, what was some of the challenges you all faced during training, if any?
It was probably, I mean, it really came down to the first 2-3 days. It was really good. The first 2 days you're competing, or you're kind of just practicing, and the last 2 days you're competing against other teams. And I feel like our only challenge realistically came down to injuries, because the first few days we were practicing, like Coach said, with Brazil, and he said they are a notch above us, but all of my teammates, I think I can speak for them that we felt like we could have won.
Yeah.
And it looked like that against most teams. And when my boys were injured on the last 2 days and they couldn't compete, and we're just watching them, the other teams were itching to be out there. Like, we know we can hang with these guys. So yeah, the challenge was just injuries, staying healthy right now. But we're gonna put in the work to kind of prevent it.
I know you would. I know you guys would work hard to be there. I'm looking forward to seeing this young man play. Yeah.
Yeah, our muscles, so we kind of need that, you know.
Yeah, of course. And height, huh?
Yeah.
And height as well.
And he's very aggressive, so that I think could help us.
That's good.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you notice any key differences in playing styles or techniques from the athletes compared to you guys? Things that maybe you can take from them, learn from them.
I think the women were more technical than the guys, to be honest.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, they play much smarter. The guys were like brutal force.
That's true. Yeah.
To be honest, like, the girls, they run good sets. They play
Yeah.
good basketball. You know what I mean? They pass the ball properly. Unlike the guys, is like,
They just came to beat you all up.
yeah. They're physical. You know what I mean? And us being smaller than most countries. they take that advantage of that.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Were there any drills or exercises from the camp that stood out as especially valuable, you think?
Yeah, I think we got a lot of information from the drills, and what they did was rotate the coaches. So
Okay.
like one time I did a session, other time, so it wasn't like just...
Oh, what was that experience like
yeah,
for you?
it was very cool. Coaching Brazil.
Yeah, coach Brazil?
Yeah, that was
oh, that's nice.
Really cool
and how did they, what's the word I'm looking for? Did they like your style? Did they?
Yeah. To be honest, even to like the person that was in charge of the coaches, Lewis, he was impressed with us.
Okay.
Because he kind of saw like us go up against Brazil, and
yeah,
we were smaller, much smaller, but we wasn't really scared of them.
Right. It's not that you don't know the game. You guys know the game. You're also very talented. You're just smaller, which
much smaller.
Much more. What was the height you guys were against?
Brazil.
But Argentina.
6'9".
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, like a 6'7". They had a 6'7" wing, a 6'8" big,
wow,
and then a guy who was like about 6'10", and one dude who's like like Brian's height.
Yeah, he could shoot the lights out.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, that's your Brian. Brian can shoot your lights out as well. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. What was the atmosphere like training alongside the other international athletes?
It kind of bring the best out of you, I guess. Like we when we matching up. Our first practice, I think, was Paraguay. We had Paraguay, Brazil, and I forgot there was one more team with us, but those were kind of like the best teams.
Okay.
And we kind of in this drill, and it's kind of fluid.
They were kind of split between everybody.
Yeah, everyone's
okay.
So
yeah.
Did they mix you all up at all?
Yeah, pretty.
Just the first.
Just the
first all
thing.
together, but then
Okay.
after that, every session was that you would be paired up. They would send a message the night before. We'd be paired up with a different team.
Okay.
So one time we were with Brazil. The next time we were with El Salvador and Guyana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that.
Okay, nice, pretty good.
Yeah.
And how do you feel the experience prepared you all mentally? Because this is not just a physical game; it's also a mental game, especially because it's so physical. How did this prepare you guys? You think? Let me hear from you, Alwyn.
Well, being physical with them and playing, it shows in a case where, okay, you can't just be physical and get mad because it's only physicality. You have to know that you have to be physical. You have to stay calm. You have to stay present in that time to play.
Definitely.
But in all, the camp was a good experience, a wonderful experience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Coach Trini, what were your primary goals for this training camp, and do you feel they were met?
Yeah, they were definitely met. I just wanted some different views of how other coaches take to the game, what I mean, and learn a few new drills and stuff that you could put your own twist on. As we came back on Sunday, we went straight to practice on Monday.
Yeah.
So we don't want to lose anything.
No sleep.
No.
Yeah.
We want. Our goal is to medal. I know that far fetched for some, but
that's okay. But that's the goal you have to have.
We want.
Why else are you going?
Yeah, exactly. We really, and seeing what we saw, like we believe, I mean, especially the players, because I'll be like, they're like, nah, we got this.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I
awesome.
said, the top 4 teams that made it to the semifinals, I think they are notch above us because of size, but not skill, not heart, and also if we could put those things together, I think we could get a good run.
Okay. And in your view,
yes, ma'am.
How did the players respond to the intensity? Because you spoke about how intense it was and physical.
At first, you could see the butterflies, what I mean, but by day 2, when the ball tipped off and we were going, everyone would go. I remember Brian taking it on the lane and dunking it on the Brazilians.
Brian? Oh, I love it. This is good.
Yeah, they were like, oh, wow. And they could see that they start to pick up the intensity of playing us because it was like 9-7 at that point.
I don't mean to sound so shocked.
Yeah, I know.
It's just that you're the shooting guy. Expect the dunk.
Yeah. No more.
All right. Well, I like that. That's pretty good.
Friendly competition,
Yeah.
But
apart from Brian's dunk, were there any other standout performances?
Not went off because he kind of played with Honduras. They went down, so we only had 2, so they allowed us to, because it's just a training camp. It's not a full competition.
Right.
Yeah, he smoked them well.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, even like the Lewis guy said, he would really have liked to see us play full-fledged.
Yeah.
And Lewis was the person that was doing the camp for the coaches.
And Brad's not here, but how did he do?
Slow
it was his first time.
Yeah, slow start, you know what I mean? But as it picked up, he did it really, really well, you know what I mean? I think he's the X factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest.
That's
like,
good.
because he have size, he's strong, I mean, his shot needs to fall.
Yeah.
He blew a few layups, but like I said, I think that was kind of
nerves.
And after that, I honestly think he's the X factor. I think he could really help us get over that hump.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna break, and we'll be back. We'll hear a little bit more from Derek and after listening to everybody and their views, how excited you are to be with this team if you get that opportunity, right? So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Where your group works can have many sounds, telephones ringing, machines humming, or even waves crashing. But no matter what sounds your group hears when they're working, BAF Insurance has a health insurance plan for your group. You can always count on BAF for affordable, flexible group and individual health insurance plans with professional, friendly customer service. We are BAF. Call us at 949-5089. Your health is our priority.
The 7 a.m. Sports Report, brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Alrighty, welcome back to Sports Extra. We're here with our Cayman basketball under 23 3x3 basketball team, and as you may have heard, they're heading off to Paraguay in August. I think it's the 15th through the 17th.
That's when the tournament is actually being held.
Okay,
but
awesome.
We're leaving like the 12th or the 13th.
Awesome. So, and for the first time, Cayman will be competing in the Junior Pan Am Games. And we have Derek with us, who is hopefully going to be a part of that team. There are tryouts, and, so we will see how that goes. Based on what you've heard so far, do you think this is something that you can handle?
Of course.
Yeah, he says, of course. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Derek. Who do you play? Which local team do you play with here in the leagues?
I don't play basketball down here. I'm actually off for school in the States.
Oh, you are? So who you used to play for before? Anyone?
Coach Red.
Coach Redva? Cool, nice. So where are you now playing?
I'm in Kansas, Atchison, Kansas.
In Kansas? What's that like?
Bipolar.
I think I have an idea. The weather you're talking about, I'm sure. Is it cold now?
Yeah. And it has this, cold and hot.
Yeah. So what's your team like? You're playing ball, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what's your team like?
My team's good.
Yeah.
We have pieces and stuff. We lose a few guys this year, but...
Okay. So what position are you playing?
I play shooting guard and
shooting?
point guard.
Okay.
Leaning towards the point guard a little bit more.
Okay. What's that like? How good is your starting point guard?
He's really good.
Yeah.
He started over me, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, can you take his spot, you think?
He left now, so...
He left, so you most likely will be taking his spot. Okay, so that's pretty good. What from that experience do you think you can bring back to your Cayman national team and help them?
Being able to show my experiences in the States, the level competition I play at, and stuff, being able to translate that to help them to, like Coach Trina say, medal, if possible, and just being there to be there to help them, embrace the moment.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we got Cayman across our chest, so we got to support it to the fullest.
Awesome. And I know 3x3 is very different from 5x5, and you know that because you've played in the local tournaments here as well. What do you think you have to offer for 3x3 if you were to be selected for the team?
Scoring the basketball.
Yeah.
Shooting the ball.
At what position most likely he'd be playing?
The wing,
the wing, more like
because it's not like 505 that you up and down, so
that's
true. Quick transitions.
And he's more of a dunker, a shooter. Strength as well.
Yeah, he not that tall, but he not afraid to
attack the basket.
Yeah, so that help us. He's been shooting the ball really well since he's been here. So hopefully that could continue. Because I think we have a good piece too, because.
Okay.
Because a bad X factor.
Yeah.
He really could shoot the ball, So,
right.
And we should have one more joining us for Nations League.
Okay. So that's good then.
Yeah.
And how did the team's chemistry evolve over the course of the camp? Because I know that's a huge factor as well. When you go there, it's just a matter of, you only have a couple of weeks probably to get to know your team, and 3x3 is something where it's a lot more personable, and you have to know your teammates' strengths and
other
skill.
than he not being able to play, Alvin not being able to play last year, like most of the guys been together.
Together already,
you
yeah.
know, so like these two went to Mexico Nations League, where we had 2 other people at the time that, you know, unfortunately couldn't make it this time. So, you know, we called for the big guns like Derek and and Brad, you know.
So looking ahead to August, what aspect of your game do you feel most confident about right now? Of our game, Cayman, as a team?
I think that what separates us kind of, and we saw it in Mexico, and I think personally, like now it's even better. It's at a higher level, but we can shoot the ball. And I think, you know, us being undersized, that has to be a factor. And us being able to shoot the ball just gives us a lot of opportunity as it pertains to, like, spreading the floor. And so if we can get into it, you know, Coach talking about transition, and, like, a lot of teams, what we learned was that they move very fluidly. In their drills, their drills aren't kind of like, you know, working in sections. They're all together fluid. And so I think if we get that down, we're a serious issue because we can really shoot when we're on, so.
And were there any areas of improvement you identified during training that you guys are currently focusing on before the championships? What sort of things you all are working on?
That's 1-on-1 basketball, you know what I mean? The team that dribbles the least usually advance the furthest. So that's something that we really trying to work on.
Is that something you also learned there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of knew because, like, we got basketball heads, but, like, we see it firsthand. Like,
especially in 3x.
Yeah, the better teams, like, if you watch the finals with Brazil and Argentina, you could tell, like, they didn't dribble a lot.
Right.
It's pass, cut. If they had a mismatch, you see some more than, but teams really don't dribble the ball, like, excessively playing 1-on-1. I think that's something that we have to transition into if we want to get to that level.
Awesome. Brian, what is representing Cayman at the Junior Pan Am Games, especially knowing that this is historic for Cayman basketball? What does that mean to you?
Español.
Yes. And then you have to do it in English. I have no idea what you'll be saying.
Oh, gosh. Hopefully that's a joke. I mean, what it means for me is it would be a next experience, you know, on my resume. After competing in Mexico, we kind of saw, you know, what we got to deal with. So we just working on that, you know. And now with this training camp that we went to, we just, like, you know, pick up on little things that we obviously knew from Mexico. But yeah, just working hard. Just go there, you know, play our heart out and trying to get a dub.
What was your biggest takeaway from this training camp?
Biggest takeaway? Well, I'll say physicality. Well, we already knew that from Mexico, but that is a huge factor.
And this is a different level too, right? This is Pan American Games. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot more intense. Yeah. Okay. So if you can take away, for all of you, if you can bring one element from Paraguay basketball into Cayman's playing style, what would it be?
The intensity.
Yeah. I think the practice that we don't practice at 80% and expect to play at 100%.
Yeah.
We got practice at 110%, so the games could be
at 100.
Yeah, at 100. You know what I mean? And I think, like, that's something that our mentality just have to change.
How do you instill that? Run laps.
Yeah, run.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think also, like, if on a coaching perspective, if you could cut the better players, the up and coming, see, like, you know what? Yeah, I have to do my part because no one's safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So, what's the food like in Paraguay?
Boy.
What? It wasn't good?
Nah, that food was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah,
You scared me.
No, let me tell you something. Like, you know that
the price?
That conversion, conversion rate. I might buy a crib in Paraguay. Like,
okay, nice. But it's beautiful there. Is it lovely there?
Yeah, it was nice.
You guys had an issue with the conditions of where you were staying before?
Yeah. It wasn't so nice our first night, you know.
Was that just for you or that's for everyone?
It was for everyone.
Okay. What was it like?
Honestly,
the conditions?
It was awful.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it like explain a bit before we go.
Well, for me, like, our first night there, I had to spend the night with 2 other coaches, so they put coaches in the same room, and, like, the other coaches are just speaking Spanish, so I felt kind of, like, cast out. And then be in the room, and the room only has one key, so all your personal belongings and stuff is there.
Right.
So at that point in time, I'm traveling with my passport, my wallet. It's not like I can just put it down and be like, look, a safe spot. The rooms wasn't that clean, you know, like. And then for the guys, I would say like there's 4 of them in the room, and then the room is small, so that they have no way to turn.
Yeah. So did you guys get that changed?
Yeah,
eventually?
yeah.
Okay.
We made some 3 o'clock calls, and by the next morning, our president sorted us out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We appreciate him for that, because we were thanking him the next day, like, because I don't know, that would have been the same experience if we had to
stay there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but we didn't try to like move out, like try to be like we better than anybody. We still came there every day, spend the days, but we just like, Uber back to.
Though they are quite used to those kind of accommodations, as you can tell.
They seem fine, but
they seem fine, yeah.
And to be fair, like Trinidad wasn't fine, because like the most English-speaking Caribbean countries, we could they wasn't fine. You know what I mean? They're like, so.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. Well, all the best. All the best with your practice, Derek. All the best back in school as well. When do you leave to go back?
I'm not sure. Is it probably?
Say that. I can't hear you.
I'm not sure. Is it probably the end of the month?
The end of the month. Okay. Well, all the best in Kansas.
Yes,
all right. Awesome, gentlemen. Paraguay, August. I know you can do it. You can beat Brazil. So
Argentina too.
And Argentina. Awesome.
We beat them before, so anything is possible.
Exactly.
Anything is possible.
Exactly. That's it. That's it for tonight's edition of Sports Extra. Of course, if you would like the opportunity to be a part of our show, please feel free to email me at sportsextrakman@gmail.com. I'm your host, Dionne Anglin. Good night and God bless.
Sports Extra. From 7 to 8 p.m., highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.
Little Cayman, Cayman Bride. Cover me